Hey crafters, it's Janet with Crafting It Up in Creations, coming at you today with a special Christmas in July video. I found a pin on Pinterest a couple weeks ago and found these ornaments that I totally loved. It used the wood beads, it used the black and white checked ribbon, and of course cute little tags. And I thought, oh my gosh, how homespun farmhouse Christmas can you get? And I pinned it and I kept it in the back of my head, and I kept hearing different things for Christmas in July, and I thought, oh my gosh, I have to make these. I'm gonna go ahead and go get the supplies. Now I had some wood beads on hand, but nothing to make. I might have been able to make 2 or 3 of these. Decided to make a little trip to Michael's and grab some of their beads in their everyday value section and use those. And I'm going to show you what I come up with, and maybe a few tips and tricks along the way that if you hadn't thought of, maybe you're like, oh yeah, let's do that. So this is the original pin that I saw. The gal that pinned this wasn't the original creator of these, so I don't have a way of linking it back to the original pin person. So Wine and Sparkle is who I follow, and she pinned these, and it just goes back to her pins, her favorite pins. So I'm gonna go with that. If anybody knows the original creator, leave it down below. I will link their blog, their information to it. I did not see these on YouTube or anything, so with that being said, if you know, let me know, because I will more than happy be linking their blog. So these are the everyday value packs. Unfortunately, they won't let you use a coupon on these, but they are really a good deal, and this is just as good or better than what you can get on Amazon with the free shipping and everything. They have them in a natural finish, and then they have them unfinished, and then they have them in the finished dark wood. And this twine that is in the everyday value section is such a good deal. Of course, it has all those different colors in it, and there's quite a bit of it. This hemp cording that they have as well, it was $1.87 for this, and I believe there's 3 yards in this. You can make several ornaments with that. I just love the color, so I wanted to have a couple different things on hand. This ribbon I got at Michael's, and this is kind of like, it's ivory ribbon, and it looks like seam binding, but it's wider. It has the feel of seam binding even, but I absolutely loved it. I ended up using it in a couple other projects. I'm gonna hopefully finish filming some of that in the next few days and be able to share that with you as well. These little tags are watercolor tags, and of course they're nice and thick because they're able to take on that watercolor, so they won't bend easy. And then these little chalkboard tags are a lot thicker. They're kind of made of that press board almost. Just really good quality tags, and they have them in all kinds of different shapes, but I picked out the tag looking one and then the heart one. And then this one is like a chalkboard finish itself. It was hanging up where their wood stuff is, and it's definitely durable. It's only 69 cents for these, so even if you went on the higher end and bought several of these to make them with, I think you're still getting your money's worth, because I don't think 69 cents for those, even with like a 20% off coupon, would be awesome. And then I'm going to take a Sharpie marker and show you here in a minute. I'm going to go around the edges of those tags to finish them off. And then I also have this twine setting in my scrap area that I'm going to use for one of the ornaments as well. Now the sticker came off easy. It left a little residue. I'm sure if you clean it off, you wouldn't even be able to tell that as well. But I'm going to open all these up, so I'll have those ready. And then I'm going to go around the edges of this tag and let you see what a difference it makes. It just really finishes off that tag, and I'm going to hold them up together so you can kind of just see the difference. It really finishes it off. It looks so good with just a Sharpie marker. Now I'm going to use some of this twine to show you the first ornament that I made. This works out really well because it ties so well, and it's kind of thin, but it's durable. But I go ahead and just take 2 strands, or I double it over, and I'm going to take 2 strands to string up the beads. And I'm going to just go ahead and knot it at the top to create my loop. And I'm going to get the finished beads that are in the dark and the light, or the natural in the dark. And I'm going to pull out 5 of those beads. I'm going to string it on here. And I did 5 on the first few that I did, but after that I decided to add 7 beads. I liked the length that 7 gave. And for whatever reason, I know that I've been told or seen on so many videos that odd numbers are more pleasing to the eye. So I didn't do 6, I went ahead and went with 7. And I'm going to tie this little tag on. And I'm just going to wrap it around and create a knot with this as well. And I'm going to double knot it just to make sure that it's very secure. And then I used hot glue because that's what I had right on hand close by. But typically I would either use the hot glue or even the gel super glue at your knot just to make sure that that is going to stay in place. And I do that even with the bows as well, just so that they don't unravel. Because it never seems to matter if you can't take that bow off and kind of manipulate the bow. It seems like it never is the same if it comes undone. I don't know if you've noticed, but I have noticed in the past. I'm being silly now. Now I'm going to trim off my ends. And then I'm going to take, and that looks cute just all by itself. You know, you could hang that on a wine bottle or anything to give it just a little good presentation. But I'm going to take the bow and cut it and make me a little bow shape to add to it. And I kind of pinch that and wrap it around. And then go through and try to pull through the other side so that it all looks uniform. So it's all kind of facing in that same direction. And I just pull it taut after that. Because you can kind of just sit there and kind of manipulate your bow. And I kind of make it the size that I want to so that the tail, you know, I feel like the tail part is not too long or long enough for the size bow that I'm going to end up making. And then I'm going to take a piece of that twine and actually go into the back part of the bow. And I'm even going to knot it at the back. And then I'm going to knot it on the original cord for the ornament. And you'll see that here in just a minute. And I'm going to use my scissors to actually kind of help feed that through. And after a few of these I even put a little hot glue on that cording. And then when I pulled it through, it kind of rested it on the back part of that ribbon. And just kind of held it in place. And then this is where I'm going to even do the knot again underneath the other knot to hold that bow in place. You could just super glue or hot glue this on there as well. But I don't have much luck even sometimes with that Gorilla Glue sometimes of it staying. I don't know if it's just the humidity here, but I know a lot of people say they have a lot of success with those, but it's give or take. I definitely can't leave anything that I've used hot glue in my front door because it's like a sauna between the wood door and that glass door, and if no matter what, the glue will just not hold. So I'm going to trim this up, cut off all my little extra tails, and shape up my ribbon. y'all have to let me know down below. Are you doing Christmas in July crafts? Are you disgusted at already thinking about Christmas already? Much less seeing the school stuff out. And so this is what it looks like when it's finished. And I just love it. So if you love your handwriting, or you have good handwriting, or you can even do that Ray Dunn font, or print off the font and use like the chalkboard technique to make it, go for it. I just feel like I always mess something up. Now, I haven't tried the transfer technique, so I may try that. But I already have a silhouette, and I had some vinyl that I had got for $1 a sheet at Michael's like last week. And so I printed off some of these little sayings. This is the LW Skinny Mini font. Originally, I did the 72 point, and it was a lot smaller. I left those if I did them, but I went back and I upped it to 90. It made it a lot easier to weed with it being that size, for sure. But I used some of that transfer tape that's from Cricut or Silhouette, and this little Fiskars scraper. Typically, I use the Dollar Tree shelf liner to even transfer stuff, but I saw this one laying out, and I thought, I'll just use it. It's there. But I was able to reuse this like 3 or 4 times on these without having to replace that piece, so it worked out. Sometimes with the transfer stuff at the Dollar Tree has, I think it works fine, but it's really only good for one transfer. And you don't want to scrape too hard because you don't want to put little indentations in your tag. But I scraped a decent amount on there, and that's how it come out. Like I said, this is the 72 point. I'll show you at the end the difference between some of the sizes between 72 and 90. I think I even might have been able to go up to 100, and it would have came out fine. But there's what it looks like. And so once I made one, I was hooked. And so I started making a ton of these. And I did them with the dark beads. I did them with the smaller black and white ribbon, with the larger black and white ribbon, with the seam binding type ribbon. I did hope, joy, peace, and love. And I just made a bunch of them. Well, I printed out an entire sheet of 12 by 12. So that I would have them. Now I need to do some black vinyl, I guess, for the white tags, but I love how this came out. I think that is so cute. So here's peace with the little small bow at the bottom, and that's with the dark beads. I don't think I had any of the piece with the light beads. Yep, yeah, I did. There's one of them I didn't use the light beads with. But that, you can tell the difference in between the pieces there. I'm going to hold those up so you can see. So that's 72 and that's 90. And I just think that 90 makes a much better presentation. You know me, I may even go back and change them because it didn't take much to scrape those off. But there's one with that seam binding ribbon. I just think that looks even just as much farmhouse or country than the black and white checkered or gingham. But I thought these came out so cute. Like I say, I overdid it. I made a bunch. This turned into a small little craft to do quickly to an all-day event by the time I was done, because I started making some other stuff with those beads. If you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified every time I upload a video. I do have something else coming up with these wood beads that I've done, and I'm super excited to share it with you. I hope to finish that out within the next few days. And now I'm just going to show you the different ones that I made and the difference in between them with 5 beads versus 7. Yeah, tell me what you think. Is 7 too many? Is 5 just perfect? Do you like the bow at the top, at the bottom? Let me know. I love interacting with you guys, and there are so many of you that comment on every single video, and I know I've said this before, But I notice and I appreciate it so much. I love to have that interaction with you all. So thanks so much for doing that. A few of you do it every time. So here's some of the different ones. I'm just kind of going through those, and then I'm going to show you at the end what it looks like on the tree. But there we go. That was my very first one that I did, honestly, because I did that one kind of off camera first. That was the very first one I did, and I just love it. And here they are on the tree. I just love these. Let me know down below if you love these, or if you're going to try to make these. And if you have the chance, go over to my Crafting It Up in Creations Facebook page and share pictures with me of the crafts that you've done. I would love to be able to interact with you guys on there. I love seeing everybody's creations. If you make videos, you're more than welcome to post them to that page. I don't have a super huge following over there. That's why I'm trying to get people over there and to interact, because I've seen other people do that and I'm so envious, because I'm like, that is such a great idea. You know, as crafters and like-minded crafters of ourselves, that we can make things and share them with each other, and then maybe go back and make them for your family or for gifts or for swaps. It's an honor in so many ways to share that with people, and they're like, wow, you made that? And you're like, yeah. And as crafters, we're like, oh yeah, I made it. And I don't know, I mean, it definitely gives me it's definitely my therapy, for sure. So I hope you guys enjoy. I'm hoping to get this video to 1,000 likes, so make sure you like, make sure you've subscribed, hit the bell if you want to be notified every time I upload a video. I've got another one in the works using these wood beads because I just love them, and I've got some super cute things that I found last year that I'm hoping that they'll bring back, or different ideas that I can give you on dressing these up just a little bit more. I hope you guys are taking care. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I hope you get a moment to craft it up.